We told you this was coming, and tonight it's confirmed. The Mexican Senate has just approved U.S. Special Forces entry into their territory. But this is not just any military operation. This is the beginning of total war against the cartels. Delta Force, SEAL Team 6, our most elite units are mobilizing. Military surveillance aircraft are already gathering real-time intelligence. The cartels thought they were untouchable. They thought wrong. And what's happening right now makes every other anti-cartel operation in history look like a warm-up exercise. But there's something even more significant that nobody's talking about. And our special guest who will be joining us in just a moment, Michael Alfaro, is going to spill the beans on what he has just found out from the State Department. And he's going to confirm everything that we have been reporting on and that he shared with us just a few weeks ago. But you know what's really killing Americans? Not just the cartels, it's high blood pressure. While our special forces prepare to tackle the cartel crisis, you need to tackle your blood pressure crisis. That's why I trust this incredible triple action formula. It's doing for blood pressure what our military is about to do to the cartels. Take control. And when you're tracking breaking military operations like we are, you need to stay sharp and healthy. Visit boostwithgary.com and get 40% off. That's boostwithgary.com. Take control of your health while we take control of our borders. Okay, this is huge news. It is all true. Our reporting was confirmed. The U.S. military is now officially moving in on the cartels. The Mexican Senate has just approved Special Forces entry. Donald Trump's plan is in motion. The war on the cartels has begun. Check this out. Look at this. This is actually a military special forces operation that took place in Tampa, and the training exercises alongside the Mexican military are going to look a lot like what you're seeing on your screen right there. Let's dig a little bit deeper, though. We've got this. Newsmax confirms the U.S. military is ramping up surveillance of cartel operations with airborne ISR assets, gathering real-time intel. General Galat admits they're mobilizing military capabilities to strike cartel strongholds. The pieces are moving. And guess what? The Mexican Senate just voted to allow U.S. Special Forces entry. Army 7th Special Forces Group is prepping to train Mexican troops, while SEAL Team 6 and Delta Force are positioned to launch precision strikes. Here is the headline. U.S. Special Forces landing in Mexico to train Marine infantry. The Americans will come fully armed as part of a mission to train the Mexican Navy's Marine infantry on conventional and non-conventional types of combat. They're coming fully armed for war. We told you this was coming. Michael Alfaro, who will be joining us in just a moment, he revealed Trump's intent to target the cartels as foreign terror organizations. Now it is official. The cartels are targets of war. The media laughed, but our source was dead right. Joe Rogan even called it. What did he say? He said, SEAL Team 6, Delta Force, cyber warfare were being lined up to annihilate cartel infrastructure. Rogan said, they're done. Now they're done. The cartel's reign of terror is over. Let's take a listen real quick.
Of the country work.
Going to mobilize tier 1 units against the cartel. Dude, if those guys are hunting you,
yeah.
By the way, like you're done. You're fucking done.
Is that a real thing that they've proposed doing?
Yes, that is a real thing.
Who proposed that?
I'm almost positive either JD or Trump had said something with the new guy from ICE. So
it's a
strange.
weird thing. Because it's so close to us and it's so ultra violent and dangerous. And it's just completely shaped the way the entire economy of the country works. You know, they have so much power and control. And it's a criminal organization that is almost entirely, at least, funded by us, by our desire. Trump declares war on cartels. President-elect said notorious crime syndicates and drug kingpins will never sleep soundly again once he launches his plans to tackle the issue.
I've thought about this for a long time, where I'm like, if they turned loose Delta Force and SEAL Team 6 on cartels, we could just kind of like erase the problem in about 2 years. It'd be gone.
He wants to send troops to Mexico. He said we make appropriate use of special forces, cyber warfare, and other overt and covert actions to inflict maximum damage on cartel leadership, infrastructure, and operations. Oh, Jesus. Bro, it is going to get wild come January 20th.
It's going to get wild, man.
It is going to get wild. Very interesting. But the thing is, like, people, inaction is action as well when it comes to this. Like, you're going to continue to prop them up. They're going to get more and more power and more money. And we got to figure out why everybody wants Coke. What the?
Okay. Now, President Trump, he wasn't bluffing in the Oval Office. He told Fox News' Peter Doocy, yeah, it could happen. Stranger things have happened, and he meant it. Now, special forces are gearing up to enter Mexico with full Mexican government approval. Mexico has officially surrendered. Yeah, it's over. It's over. America has won. But we're going to talk to Michael in just a minute. He's going to give us more details on what's happening inside the walls of the White House and the State Department. But let's go flashback to this beautiful moment.
Cartels are now going to be seen as foreign terror organizations. Would you think about ordering U.S. Special Forces into Mexico to take them out?
Could happen. Stranger things have happened.
Stranger things have happened. Elon Musk saw it coming. He exposed USAID's role in funding illegal migration, calling it Democrats' scheme for future voters. Now with cartel ops exposed, Trump is cutting off the financial pipelines. It is game over. Here's what Elon Musk posted just a short while ago. The real reason so many Democrats are upset about entitlements, Social Security, and Medicaid fraud investigations is that they're using your taxpayer money as handouts to attract and retain illegal immigrants, their future voters. That's what it's all about. He posted this just a couple hours ago. The cartels, my friends, weren't ready for this. They expected the U.S. to stay paralyzed by bureaucracy. Wrong. Trump's military surge is locked and loaded. And with Mexican cooperation, there's nowhere left to hide. The cartel war is about to get real. Expect airstrikes on key cartel hubs, night raids by special forces, maritime blockades along cartel smuggling routes. No more half measures. This is total war. We predicted Trump would use Marines, letters of marque and reprisal, military dominance to break the cartel machine. Now the Newsmax report confirms unprecedented ISR mobilization. The cartel empire is collapsing. This is Trump's peace through strength doctrine in action. The cartels killed 100,000 Americans a year. Now it's payback time, bitches. The border invasion ends here. The cartel state is being ripped out by its roots. Stay tuned. We have more to come. Now, we've got a lot more in this segment. I'm telling you, we've got so much more to get to. This is just the tip of the iceberg, but I want to get Michael here on the show. Let's bring in Michael. Michael, talk to us now. You were our source, our original source, when we broke that news about the authorization for the use of force. The president could bring in the Marines, he could bring in the special forces, and now we have this confirming everything you said was going to happen is happening. Mike, give us your update right now.
Okay, so here's what you're leaving out to your audience. According to a good friend of mine, Bill Williams, who's the COO of Blackwater, which Blackwater did sell its company, and now it's called and identified as the Academy. And arguably, there are the number one most lethal force that we use as contractors to go ahead and root out evil wherever evil is in the world. At this next phase, it's going to be 2 to 3 weeks for the letters of marque to take action, which the contractors will go in there and extract all and any information needed about the drug cartel lords, so that way we can know every single way how they make their income. And then from there, President Trump will leash out his plan by executive order to shut it down. It doesn't matter if they make money off of water or bread or any kind of gunpowder, any kind of ammo, any way how they make money. We're going to shut it all down, and it's going to take about 2 to 3 weeks just to extract that intel. As soon as we start taking action by executive order to strangle the cartel drug lords, we predict that they're just going to go ahead and take a bench. They're going to wait for the next 3 to 4 years. When this administration blows over, they're going to regroup, recalibrate, and they're going to be right back in the front lines, smuggling drugs, smuggling people across the border. But President Trump is not having that at all. And already what President Trump is doing, he's methodically telegraphing his next move. So Mexico is unaware that he means business. We hear him talk about buying Greenland. We hear him joke, or is he joking, about Canada becoming the 51st state. We hear him telling now Zelensky and Ukraine that, hey, with the $1 billion that you took from us, from our taxpayer money to go and fight this war that we didn't want to get into it, now you owe us $1 billion worth of minerals, right? And Zelensky says, okay, I'll give you the minerals so we can pay back that debt. Now he's going out there and saying we're gonna go ahead and rename the Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America. What does all of these actions, line item actions, tell the president of Mexico? That President Trump is going to do Mexico a justice in which they have never seen before. The people of Mexico is going to be up in arms, in tears, and in love with this president, because President Trump is going to root out every single drug cartel lords as soon as we get the intel on everyone, which would take about 2 to 3 weeks. People say it hasn't been done before and will never be done. Well, guess what? No one has been this courageous enough. No one has been this loving enough to go ahead and root out this evil. And we have the justified means. In Vietnam killed 70,000 Americans, 70,000 American lives in Vietnam War. Every single year, the drug cartels are responsible for 100,000 lives. Going back for the past 10 years. This war, this fight is long overdue, but it's not just for the American lives. As a Central American, as a Nicaraguan American, as a real political asylum seeker who came here to America to love America, to be about America, okay? We all want to see President Trump end the drug cartel lords, because you got to think about the countless endless lives the drug cartel lords has killed in vain. All the good people in Mexico, all the good people in Guatemala, all the good people in Nicaragua, where my family is from. We want President Trump to reign justice now. And I'm telling you, this next administration with Marco Rubio at the helm, there is no race card to being played, because Marco Rubio will take those marching orders and he will take it to the battlefield if needed. And it's on the plate, is really on the table for Mexico. Mexico has to ask themselves, if we do not play by Trump's rules, then if they come and invade, they may take our land. And that's really the option that they have, because President Trump doesn't care about the best parties. We all been to Mar-a-Lago. It is the best parties. We all seen the women that he associates with. They're smart, they're intelligent, they're the best of the best. President Trump has been everywhere and everywhere. And what is it that he's going to do next? It's not to line his pockets, folks. He owns Mar-a-Lago. It's for his legacy, but it's not just for America's legacy. It's really for the globe. It's really for the world that President Trump is going to deliver peace through strength. But this time, I know President Trump, he will take action. And I just want the press and the media to really take a step back and think. All the countless tears of 100,000 American lives was stolen from the drug cartel lords. Responsibility is coming. The wrath of God is going to come. The Marines are going to come. The SEALs are going to come. The cartels are going to be on the run. But they could run, but they really can't hide, because we have the best technology and we're going to root out evil wherever they are.
Michael, what was your reaction when you heard the news that Mexico, the Senate, voted to allow special forces to come in?
Not surprised, because here's why. All we need to take the next step further is one Democrat to prove in the Congress that Trump can take military action against the drug cartel lords. We have that person. Mexico knows we have that confidant. Mexico knows they are out of time. So if you ask me, I'm not surprised. And let me tell you something that's a little bit alarming that I was just reading up. September 30th in 2024, the Marine Corps, as a former Marine myself, we could take action by go to war with anybody in any place, any time in the world. That's why we're Marines. We're the few, the proud of the Marines. 24 hours, we can be deployed. We're there on the battlefield for 60 days without any interruption, without any approval from Congress, right? All the way up till September 30th, 2024, they reformed that right before Trump got in office. Funny, right? Well, they're saying now that they have to have a concession, like a consent from one side of the opposition of the party. Well, we already have that. So if you ask me if I'm surprised, I am not surprised, and I'm actually happy that it's going well. It's going well, and I think that what Mexico really has to have the come to Jesus moment is that they have failed the Mexican American people, and they have failed the Mexican people at home. Think about all the drug cartel lords. Think of all the good men who could not do any good deeds because the local government's been paid off by the drug cartel lords. I mean, every single money trace from the cartel lords with AI technology, with all the platforms that we have. Elon Musk at the helm, arguably the richest man, arguably the smartest man alive at the helm, working with our CIA, working with our DOJ, working with Kash Patel. I mean, Kash Patel made it very clear. He said this Trump administration will go after those who hunted the hunted. We will go after the hunted. And that means DOJ, that means FBI, that means drug cartel lords, that means Al Qaeda, that means ISIS, that means every root of all evil. Because I tell you something, President Trump stood not once but twice and almost was shot. One time he was actually nipped in the ear. It went right by his ear. And here you see the Pope. What? The Pope is condemning Trump? What happened now to the Pope? 2 days later, he's hospitalized, right? No weapon shall be formed against President Trump. And I'm not someone that goes to church every day, but I tell you, this is exciting times to be alive because we're really seeing the hand of God behind President Trump's every single move in this White House.
Amen. Michael, you had some inside news that we spoke earlier about what's going on in the State Department and Rubio's people. Before we let you go, if you could just drop that.
Sure, no problem. I'm just going to read this off because I don't have a teleprompter. Okay, so one of the things that I get the source from Elise Slider, and you'll see her. She's going to be awesome. We're hoping that she gets appointed as the Latino outreach director for the White House, working with Jenny Corn, who's already been appointed, and she is arguably, well, she is Marco Rubio's niece, and she just, we're getting a lot of calls from outsiders from both the left and the right. They're saying that President Trump is calling in ICE to raid churches and schools. This is a false information. President Trump will not raid any schools or any churches unless there's a criminal or that church is involved in a criminal activity. But as of now, there's nothing. He's actually calling on his ICE agents for double clarification required, meaning that even in criminal cases, ICE must undergo additional clarification process before entry to go and root out these people. There is a double check on before they go out and they taking these people out. Targeting violent criminals. Enforcement is focused on those who have committed crimes, not law-abiding families or individuals. There are actually no mass deportation claims of mass deportations or false political fears, tactics to spread misinformation. And President Trump is going to get ready to address DACA. President Trump wants to, he is thinking about protecting DACA recipients who were brought here as children. The focus is on criminals, not on children that was trafficked here. So the thing is that this President Trump, I want to take a moment. He is acting out of kindness and out of love. We are focused on those who are violent. We are focused on those who steal. We're focused on those criminals who are going to do wrong with us. But we cannot buy into false information that's going to distract the mission and the focal point of President Trump or what he's trying to achieve for not just for all of us, but I would even add for the Mexican people. Think about this 1 second. I was talking about this with Marco Rubio's family. Think about all the families, right, that come to America. Their American dream is to do one thing, is to earn an honest living, right? But to give back to those families back at home, right? They go and they line up at Walmart. You see them every day. They send money back home because they know there's no opportunity there. But think about it. Imagine if the opportunity can come back. That opportunity only comes back to Mexico and everywhere else as soon as we get rid of the drug cartel lords. And people for the rest of their lives will be singing President Trump's praises. And that's what we're going to see as a country. America lead, not just for us, but for the betterment of Mexico. Whether they like it or not, we're going to root out the evil.
All right, Michael, thank you for taking the time. I know you got things to do. Thanks for dropping this intel at the Next News Network exclusively for our viewers. And we'll have you back again. We have more news to get to. Thank you, Michael. We'll talk soon. So there you have Michael Alfaro, and here's a live shot right now of the White House. You can see it real time. This is what it looks like. That is where Donald Trump is making Mexico great again. Yeah, that's what's happening. Think about it. If you root out all of these cartels, it's the cancer. You cut out the cancer that's not only destroying the American people, the American lives, what are you doing? You're also going to cut the tumors out of Mexico. And then those opportunities will return to Mexico, and people aren't going to be fleeing Mexico or Central America. Okay? So talk about getting to the root causes of the immigration crisis, right? Remember, that's what Kamala Harris was supposed to do, get to the root cause. Well, she didn't do anything. Okay? She was derelict in her responsibility to protect this nation. Well, President Trump's getting to the root cause, and he knows the cartels are the first step. Now, continuing here, we have Thomas D. Homan posting this just 4 hours ago. Interior arrests by ICE have increased more than 137% under President Trump. Arrests of aliens with criminal convictions have doubled under Trump. The arrests of illegal alien gang members also doubled. Our streets and neighborhoods are that much safer. Paul Zipula, U.S. Special Forces will be landing in Mexico this week to train Mexican infantry after a Mexican Senate commission approved the measure. The Americans will come fully armed as part of a mission to train the Mexican Navy. It is on. It was all over the news. Breaking, Mexican Senate has just approved entry of U.S. Special Forces to take on the cartels. Let's listen.
Into Mexico, the Mexican Senate has just approved that America can send in our military, our special forces, into Mexico to fight the cartels. If you've been watching shows like Lioness, I love that show. This is even better than that because we've been given permission to go in to what Trump has called, and we all know that the cartels are running and ruining Mexico, and they are a terrorist organization. And obviously, Mexico needs help, and our special forces are going in to take care of it, baby. More winning. This is going to make Mexico and America safer, and our borders even safer than they already are and already become with what Tom Homan has already done. What are your thoughts? Join the conversation down.
Join the conversation, baby. Yeah, we certainly are. This guy says, stop socialist tyranny. Great move by President Trump taking a strong stance against the cartels. This is exactly what we need. A president who isn't afraid to take action and protect our country's interests. The Mexican government should be grateful for our help in taking out these ruthless cartels. Jason Zamborski says Mexico better get on board and handle their business, or it sounds like U.S. troops have essentially been given a green light to handle business. Under Hexeth, I don't think there will be mercy. The action will be swift and deadly. They won't be looking to arrest anyone. George Beasy posting this 5 hours ago. Mexican Senate has approved the entry of United States Special Forces starting this week. It is getting real for the drug cartels. The United States RC-135, U-2, and P-8 spy planes tracking Mexican cartels. The U.S. military has significantly increased its surveillance of Mexican cartels over the past 2 weeks, with sophisticated spy planes flying at least 18 missions. U.S. military stepping up airborne surveillance on Mexican drug cartels to tackle their activities. Homan, look at what this president has done in just the first month.
Illegal crossings. Look what this president's done in just the first month of him being in office. Illegal crossings on the border are down 90%. 90% in just a matter of a couple of weeks. And what does that mean, Maria? You know, it means less people are dying crossing the border. Less Americans are dying from fentanyl overdoses. Less women and children being sex trafficked across that border. Less terrorists are getting in. President Trump has taken incredible action on the border. We're already at a high state of security on the southern border. We're arresting twice as many illegal alien criminals that Biden did. We're on a lightning speed to do what the president promised the American people he would do.
Yep, lightning speed, baby. It's happening right now. Real time. You are a part of history in the making. Here is Homan on CNN talking about it as well.
The States. Well, we got to remember the interior arrest conducted by ICE in the interior of the United States is 2.5 times, 2.5 times higher than they were a year ago during the Biden administration. So ICE is doing a great job. I'm not happy with the numbers because we got a lot of criminals to find. So what we're talking about right now, we're increasing the number of teams, increase the targeting, the division of ICE that creates a target list of, finding who these people are, what their criminal history is, and where we're most likely to find him. We got to increase the targeting production. So we're doing that now. We're increasing the targeting. We're increasing the teams out there in the field. And finally, I'll be honest with you, the sanctuary cities are causing us a lot of work. And rather than arresting a bad guy in Rikers Island, we have to go to the neighborhood and find them, find people that don't want to be found. And it's hard because rather than one man arresting one bad guy in a jail, we got to send a whole team to the field to find somebody that doesn't want to be found. And so it's hard work, but we're not giving up. We're coming. Again, the numbers are a lot higher than they were during the Biden administration, but we got to do more. And I've been real clear on that. And that's why we're making the operational changes now that I've.
Yep, operational changes are happening as you are watching this report. More news on this front. Hardworking legal immigrant.
Country and want a good life. Good day, folks. You know what pisses me off the most is that the people that came to this country and want a good life here and want to become an American, and yet they're out there waving their fucking flag, protesting this and that, all that shit. If you are legal, what the fuck do you have to worry about? Unless you do some dumb shit and you worry about getting deported. Okay? People like me came here illegally through the process. We're Americans. Okay? We love this country. We love the flag, the American flag, the America. The red, white, and blue. Okay? We don't care about our flag. Because we left that shit behind. Okay? You dumb son of a bitch, do some dumb shit with your flags, you might well take that flag and shove it up your ass and go back where you come from. Motherfucker. If I see you on the road waving your flag, I will call ICE because I get $750 each, bitch.
I get $750 each. Oh my goodness. Bill Malugin 10 hours ago on Fox News. It says in San Diego, an NGO says the shelter hasn't had a single migrant.
And is ending. So the San Diego NGO says its shelter has had not a single migrant walk through its door since President Trump took office. They're now closing that shelter down and laying off more than 100 employees, they say, because of Trump's border policies and his ending of their federal funding. Jewish Family Service San Diego has been running a rapid response migrant shelter that offered migrants care packages, food, legal services, travel coordination, medical screenings, and immigration case management. FEMA records show they had been allocated $22 million last year, but the NGO says they've received none of that money. Jewish Family Service San Diego points the finger at President Trump, saying in part, quote, with migrants no longer able to use the CBP-1 application, the shelter has not received new families and individuals released from short-term federal custody. So
that's awesome. And here we have, what's this from the Tucker Carlson Network? They're calling this outrageous. James O'Keefe, what's up, James? What are you doing?
Sent to address. They stopped the transportation of children. They stopped the money. Tara Rodas witnessed her colleagues at HHS tell her that it didn't matter that children were sent to addresses flagged for sexual abuse.
When I brought that we were going to be sending another child to the same address, I was told, Tara, we only get sued if we keep kids in care too long. We don't.
Wow, that's all coming out as well. Fox News talking about giving refunds to the taxpayers for the fraud and waste. If this is predictive programming, I'm in.
That went to places. This is from a viewer who reached out to me. She's in Cape Coral, Florida. And she says, Harris, could the government give all the taxpayers a refund from the money they're finding that went to places it never should have gone?
Yes, that is the next step, and that is the next natural step. When you are finding all of this money, when you are taking it back, when you are cutting off future streams of funding, give that back to the American people. Then you will see the economy absolutely explode. And people will once again be able to take out new loans and start new businesses and all the wonderful things that follow when they have more of their own money.
This is from a view.
Oh, it's happening, baby. U.S. tech workers, there's so much H-1B visa abuse, you won't believe it. Listen to this.
People can get behind.
This looks like the Sean Ryan podcast.
I think we need to bring back defector visas. We need to own it. And it seems like a type of immigration that even the really anti-immigration people can get behind. Because the point is like, look, we're not trying to bring in millions of fruit pickers. We're trying to steal the very best people from our greatest foe. Surely we can agree that that's usually worth doing. It's better for us to have those people, for them to be running the missile factory that's going to blow up our nation.
There was a little bit of a debate on that not too long ago, correct?
If you do like the skilled immigration versus not. Yeah. So that's true. The difference there is that H-1Bs are about whether or not they're, like, it's on theory. Of course, there's so much H-1B abuse. You would not believe what I saw when I was in Silicon Valley. It is insane. It's obviously a program to try and replace U.S. workers with basically slave labor that can't ever escape. H-1B abuse is crazy. But in theory, H-1Bs are to create a job for an immigrant if there is not a person who can be hired to do that job in the United States. A defector visa adds an additional requirement. It has to be something that they care about, that you're ripping away. So like, it's not just that there's a need for them here, it's that it's going to hurt China by taking them. If China has 1 million people that do something, let's say that we need more rice pickers here, and China's got more rice pickers. China's got plenty of rice pickers. Taking a rice picker is not going to hurt. Taking the head of an advanced silicon manufacturing facility that can make cutting-edge computer graphics chips, that is going to really, really hurt them. Mm-hmm. So I say that was the part of the debate that I didn't see present, is using immigration not just as a tool to help the United States, but to harm our adversaries. I want it to...
Interesting take right there. We also have this government watchdog group. Officer Liu posting this 9 hours ago. The government watchdog group has disclosed that an agency under the Department of Health and Human Services has allocated $22 billion for migrants.
Migrants over the... Hi, Harris. Well, a new report today from a watchdog group shows that the Department of Health and Human Services has spent $22 billion on migrants over the last few years. We're talking things like cars, homes, even help with credit scores. And guess where this money's coming from? The taxpayers' pockets. Well, Open the Books is the name of this government watchdog group. They dug into this. Their investigation revealed the money was distributed through the Office of Refugee Resettlement, a division within HHS. The office has come under fire in the past. Last year, as everyone may remember, an Inspector General report revealed they could not track the exact whereabouts of 32,000 unaccompanied migrant children. And still, this latest report notes the most funding went to programs for unaccompanied migrant children. Other programs include matching savings for cars and homes, small business loans, and help with credit scores. In 2021, according to this watchdog report, they gave out more than $2 billion in grants. Check 2023 out. That soared to more than $10 billion. This was the same time we saw a record number of migrant encounters at the southern border. And in 2024, another $4 billion. Eligible groups for these migrants include from these grants, that is, include migrants from Cuba and Haiti, humanitarian parolees from Afghanistan and Ukraine, special immigrant visa holders from Afghanistan and Iraq, and unaccompanied minors.
It's a dollar that a family can't decide how they spend that money on their own. And that's what we've got to restore, is shift those dollars away from these wasteful programs and let families and individuals decide how they want to spend their own money.
According to the report from Open the Books, the two nonprofits awarded the most funds were the International Rescue Committee and also the Church World Services. We have reached out to HHS and the ORR to respond to this report and to ask them to justify these billions of dollars from taxpayer money. As of this afternoon, we have not heard back from them, Harris.
Yeah, I don't think you'll hear anything. Here we have this from Wall Street Apes posting 24 hours ago. ago. Tucker Carlson's interview with Ken Paxton. Check this out. Here's a clip.
Hispanics are... Texas went from a majority white state to really a majority Hispanic state, but that doesn't mean that it has to be like a dystopian left-wing state at all.
Hispanics are conservative socially. They are hardworking. They are...
Okay, we have more from this. ICE officers doing an immigration raid in Sunland Park, New Mexico. They ask if they are U.S. citizens and they need to provide documented proof. Listen to this.
We're citizens. I don't have to show you proof.
That was my question.
Yeah, I'm citizen.
You're a U.S. citizen. Where are you from?
From the U.S.?
Well, the United States, dog.
So, the United States, I told you.
Yeah, well, I'm just...
You just what? You need to prove to me that... No, I don't need to prove to me. I tell you that we're from here.
I'm a United States citizen, just to clarify. Born and raised, El Paso, Texas.
Technology now, huh?
Right.
I'm just kidding.
Sonríe, güey.
Wow, they are scanning people in real time at these raids. Here we have more from Tom Homan just 11 hours ago.
And I mean, look, President Trump's been clear. We're going to put the worst of the worst at Gitmo. And look, and I've said it before, I'll say it again. No one's off the table. If you're in this country illegally, it's not okay. But President Trump has said from day one, we're going to concentrate on public safety threats and national security threats. You know, Varney, I looked at the numbers today. In the last 24 hours, a total of 229 people were encountered by the Border Patrol on the southwest border. 229. I haven't seen that. I've been doing this job since 1984 as a Border Patrol agent. I've never seen the numbers that low. 229 compared to 11,000 a day under Biden. We've doubled the number of criminal aliens arrested. We've doubled the number of illegal aliens arrested in the interior. We've doubled the number of gang members, Tren de Agua and MS-13. President Trump made a promise to American people, and we're keeping that promise. The numbers are extraordinary. We're not there yet. We got more to do, but I look at those numbers this morning, I just shake my head how much President Trump has accomplished in less than a month.
In less than a month. It is on, baby. Let's keep it going. Now, the pieces are falling into place. Military surveillance ramped up. Special forces approved for entry. Mexican cooperation secured. This isn't just an operation. This is the fulfillment of everything that we have been reporting. The cartels killed over 100,000 Americans last year through their poison and violence. Now payback is coming. But here is what everybody should be asking themselves. Why did it take so long? If we had the capability to do this all along, who was protecting the cartels? Who was on the take? What forces within our own government prevented this action until now? Drop a comment below and stand with independent media. Show your support with exclusive Next News gear. It's linked in the description. Shop.nextnewsnetwork.com, because real patriots wear their values proudly.